What's up, everyone? This is Seth with the Landing Page Dudes, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you an in-depth advertorial system we use to produce millions of dollars for our Shopify brands. This advertorial has been used time after time. It produces insane results, higher AOV, higher conversion rates, and I'm going to show you how to do it beginning from scratch. So what we've done is we've created a prompt system. All you have to do is copy these prompts, put them into any tool like Claude or ChatGPT, and you'll be able to produce it for yourself. Even better, we even have the template if you guys want to get it. It's plug and play. You put in your images, you put in your text. It's beautiful, and it's also mobile first. So, beginning with the advertorials. Now, the mistake you see most people doing is they'll find a competitor online. So they'll use a spy tool, they'll find an advertorial, they'll put that advertorial into ChatGPT, and they'll say, create an advertorial for my product, and copy their flow. And what ends up happening is ChatGPT produces garbage. It doesn't give you an advertorial that understands your customer, the demographic, the language, and it's not customer centric. The right way to do it is to be using a tool like ChatGPT and Claude, and using a three-step process, which is called research, foundation, and chief proof. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that in real time using a demo product. Now, before I jump into the process, I want to show you the advertorial. The first thing you always need with an advertorial is a kick-ass hook. No one is going to click on the advertorial. No one's going to read your advertorial unless there is something that engages them. And that's why this whole mystery type of hook works really well. Why this $18 toothpaste has a wait list, and why your dentist probably hasn't heard of it yet. A lot of people might be like, $18, that's ridiculous, but there's still something in them that wants to click on it. Like, what can this possibly be? So creating a hook that gets people to click on your advertorial is quite possibly the most important thing. It doesn't matter how good your copy is. If you're not having a good hook, you're not going to get those clicks that are going to be landing on your advertorial. Now, the second thing here is the actual structure. Advertorials have to follow a certain structure. And in our advertorial prompt sheet, we give you that structure. Beginning with the headline, which is the hook, the problem section, which is the expose. What is the problem? What is the market failing to do? Then the turning point, which is your product. This is why this product solves that problem. Then the mechanism, how it works, how can you use it? Then it's the product reveal. You show your product, you speak about the benefits, you speak about the features. Then you have your social proof, your comparison chart, the transformation timeline, which is super important. What can I expect? What results can I see by using this product? And then the reasons why, and finally the bottom CTA. So here with this advertorial, we have the hook, we have the subtitle, the Japanese mineral secret, clinically proven to whiten in 1 week. That just, everyone loves the whole Japanese culture. It's strong copywriting. It builds that mystery and suspense, but it also gives you a conclusion, clinically proven in 1 week. Here we have the intro followed by the problem. And the problem we're using for this toothpaste brand is that fluoride destroys the enamel. And and the cool thing is that we use Gemini to create these videos. And inside of the prompt sheet, we also give you ways to produce realistic videos for your own advertorial. Videos and GIFs are going to work a lot better, so it's best if you do use them. Next, we're going to be talking about the turning point. The tooth mineral you've never heard of. And again, this copy is eliciting emotion. People don't want to be not in the know. Next, you could see throughout the advertorial, we're really highlighting these words, really emphasizing. Then we have the timeline. Within 1 week, wider smile. 2 week, sensitive fades. 3 week, stronger teeth. And then within 1 month, you have brand new teeth, followed by an actual image of the before and after. And you'll notice the template we're using and why it works so well is that as I'm scrolling down, we have this sticky product box with the customer reviews. And all of this is fully editable. I'll show you that a bit later. Next, we have what we call a compare chart, where we compare our product to other brands. Finally, we introduce the doctor. This is kind of like the ambassador section. It's really important to have a strong authoritative figure behind the tool or behind the product, followed by 5 reasons to choose this product over the bad competition. So with that said, we're going to be using our advertorial prompt sheet. And for this video, we're going to be doing it for a product called the King Kong Wobbler. If you don't know what this is, the King Kong Wobbler is a tool that allows dogs to eat slower. I have 2 dogs and they're big dogs. And whenever I feed them, they attack their food. And what ends up happening is they eat it so quickly. Sometimes they'll throw up or food will get stuck in their throat, and it makes it, it's just not good. That's why the slow feeder industry, which are these slow feeder dog tools, is blowing up, because it allows the dog to take its time, but it also involves strategy. So it teaches the dog. It's a brain learning session. So with that said, I'm going to create my Google Doc right here. I'm going to go into the advertorial prompt sheet. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to do the research. It's super important that when you're building an advertorial, before any copywriting, that the tool you're using, which is Claude or ChatGPT, it understands what your product is exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this copy. I'm going to come into into Claude, and I'm going to give it the product information. So here it's called the cobbler. I'm going to put the cobbler here. Let me just delete that. I'm going to put the price. Again, it's really important. So just try and use as much here. I would not leave anything out. It'll take 5-10 minutes of your time, but the output is going to be absolutely amazing. It also says upload a PDF, which is super important. So what I usually do is I have this tool here. It'll take the entire screenshot. I'll download the PDF. I'll upload it here. Now for the competitors, what I'll do is I'll say, who is Kong competitors for dog toys? And Google AI should give me some type of answer. I'll just copy and paste this into here. So I remove the format and I'll put this right over here. Now, additional context is the founder story, the press awards. If you don't have that, don't worry about it. Just remove it. I'm gonna remove it for now. Next, what we're telling it to do is analyze my product page, analyze my competitor pages. Then it's going to search the internet for Reddit threads. Now, the reason why Reddit is so important, because that's where conversations happen. People are saying, is this product good? Why does this product suck? So it's going to go and understand what the internet is talking about. It's going to look for common complaints and existing solutions, what customers wish existed, objections, hesitations. Then it's going to build a foundation. It's going to understand the customer language bank. Dog owners speak much differently than cat owners. So it's important that you have these prompts that are going in there. It's understanding the pain phrases, the desire phrases, the objection phrases, the competitor gaps, and so forth. So next, what I'm going to do is I am going to click on the search here. Now, it might ask a couple questions back if it does not pull in a lot of information, but this is the most important step. You want to make sure that you are putting in all the information you can about your product, because the output is equal to the input. The more important information you put about your product, about your competitors, the better the prompt is going to be. So while that's analyzing, I want to explain to you guys how the structure is going to work here. So the structure is we're going to have a scarcity banner, and you'll see that a lot in advertorials. It's just going to push people to purchase. It's either this is running out, low on stock. Then we're going to have the hook followed by the hero image. Then we're going to have a problem section, which is the expose, the turning point, which is the discovery, the mechanism, the product reveal, the comparison chart, followed by UGC or social proof, and then finally the CTA. The good thing about this is that there's a checklist before publishing. So even before you publish, you can come down and make sure you have everything. But one of the most important things is what we call the chief proof check. Once you've created your entire advertorial, you're going to copy and paste it into ChatGPT or Claude, followed with this. And what this is going to do, it's going to double check. It's going to make sure that your advertorial is as best as it can be in terms of conversion and copywriting. Now let's go back into Claude, and you can see here it's pulled in a lot of information. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but you could see even from the customer language bank, it's gone onto Reddit and it's found all these amazing things. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go and get our first prompt. So that first prompt is gonna be the scarcity hero. So let me head up to there and get that. Awesome. We'll just wait for this to finish. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I am going to ask for it to create that scarcity banner. Now, you don't have to worry too much about the output, what it's giving you. It now knows everything, and you could see the level of information that we've provided, the desire and the fear. That's why just going in, finding a competitor, putting it into ChatGPT and seeing copying their flow, it's not going to be effective. These 4 steps are going to allow you to build an advertorial that is going to convert. It knows your customer, it knows the pain point, and it's going to walk you through the entire process. Okay, next, we're going to put in that first prompt. And what we'll be doing is just using this Google Doc. And once we finish the Google Doc, the idea is that you guys have a template, or you can get one from us. This is only $50. It's built into your Shopify. It's fully customizable. You can duplicate it and you can add it as many times as you want. And every section is fully customizable in terms of images and text, even down to the hero image. You could show a video, you could show an image, you could show something different on mobile, something different on desktop. We give you all the options to make sure that you could build a powerful advertorial. Awesome. Now let's look at the option 1. I like option 3, the price trajectory. Update. This product was $14.99 when we first reviewed it. It's now $17.99. We can't guarantee the price will still hold. So we're gonna have that as the first step. Next, we're then gonna go and create the headline. So copy that prompt, throw it in there, and that's how easy it is to be building these advertorials. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Use our system, copy and paste in, find a template, and within a couple of hours, you can get live. So let's see what sections, what headlines it gives us. And we're telling it that we want the headlines to create genuine curiosity. That's the most important thing. I click on headlines where I'm curious, where there's just not enough information. It's not conclusive. It leaves me asking, what is this? Okay, so let's see this. The dangerous thing that happens when your dog eats. My dog used to inhale dinner in 8 seconds. Your dog's food bowl is only 100. Their brain, I like this. Actually, this is the best one. Okay. So what this is doing is it's building that fear. Every dog owner wants their dog to live to 100 years old, especially I do. I have 2 beautiful dogs. And what I want to do is make sure that I can tap into that emotional side of dog owner. The dangerous thing that happens when your dog eats in under 60 seconds. Everyone's going to be like, what is this dangerous thing? I have a dog. So they're instantly going to click on that. Now, the subtitle is veterinarians call it the silent mealtime killer, and it's 100% preventable. Next, we're going to go and we're going to ask for the hero recommendation. This is the second most important thing after the hook, is that image has to kick ass. That image has to be absolutely perfect. So what you want to do is you're going to copy this headline here. Say I'm using this headline. And then next you're going to come into here. You know what? I could have just done it that way. Okay. Next, it's going to let you know what image to use. And again, a lot of people are consuming media on Instagram and TikTok, and this whole ADHD, scrolling. Text is not really read. Images and videos are so important. So that main thumbnail has to be absolutely perfect. So what it's saying here is that the image we should be using is a medium close shot of a dog mid-gulp, face down in a traditional metal or ceramic bowl. Okay, let's see if I can create that inside of Google Gemini. And just so you know, for our client, Every image you see here, every video you see here, we made in Google Gemini. Everything. And sometimes it takes a little bit of prompt engineering, but the idea is that Google Gemini is becoming good enough now that you could just feed it one of these prompts and it'll come out. So let's go and do that right now. We're going to copy this. Okay, awesome. Let's do this. Create images. And while that's being created, the next thing we're going to do is we're then going to come to the problem section. Now, the problem section is where you're going to talk about the pain points. Now, for me, the pain point is whenever I feed my dogs and they eat so quickly, not only sometimes do they puke, but they become aggressive with each other. I have 2 King Corsos, and one of them is much bigger than the other one. So he'll finish his food so quickly that he'll go to the other one's bowl, and then the other one becomes, hey, get away from me. Like, I don't want you near me. And then they start to become aggressive. They love each other, but this is just primitive behavior. So what this is saying is, here's a fact that might surprise you. The dog bowl has only existed for about 100 years. Your dog's brain and digestive system, those evolved over 15,000 years ago, designed for hunting, scavenging, and working for every single meal. So how did we end up dumping premium kibble into plastic dish and calling it feeding time? Simple, convenient cells. So this is such a great intro. It's using numbers to really push across that, dogs have existed much before these plastic bowls, and they used to have to hunt and scavenge. There was some type of stimulation in order for them to go and get their food. And because now we love our dogs so much and convenience is so easy, you start to see them become obese and they're not stimulated, and now food is just a given, give it to me. So what this product does is it turns it around. So that's the problem section. Next, we're going to come here and we're going to talk about the turning point. We're going to come in here and we're going to put the turning point here. Let's see if Google Gemini made something decent. Okay, that's still a good photo. I mean, I would not use this photo, but just for the sake of what we're doing, guys, we're going to use this photo here. Now, the turning point. Basically, what the turning point is saying is, then veterinarian behaviorists started asking a question. Instead of what should dogs eat, they asked, how are dogs designed to eat? The answer came back to thousands of years. People love ancient stuff, to wolves, to wild dogs, and the simple truth that canines evolved to work for every calorie, hunting, foraging, and most importantly, problem solving. When research finally tested this theory, the results were striking. Dogs who had to earn their food showed dramatically lower anxiety, better digestion, and fewer destructive behaviors. This is the most important part. After that, we're going to come into our prompt and we're going to do the mechanism. Now, while that is being created, we're going to have the product reveal. I'm just going to copy and paste and get this locked and loaded. And we even give, so before that, look, the mechanism section is finished. So let's copy the mechanism section. And again, you're not going to be using these headlines. Just be clear with that. These are just giving you reference. Next is the mechanism section. Researchers call it active foraging, and it's the missing piece of your dog's daily routine. Here's how it works. When a dog has to physically manipulate something to release food, nudging, pawing, and problem solving, the brain enters a focused, calm state. Now at the bottom here, it shows a simple side-by-side animation. What we're going to do is we're going to want to place the product. So the best way to do that is we don't want to use a product studio type of image. We want to try and find something that's more like a human took the photo, something that doesn't look so studio quality. So for example, something like this, but we'll have to put it into Gemini and we'll have to say make this image more like someone took a photo with their phone, non-studio. The dog is active in learning the red Kong tool. Make it horizontal. And the next thing we're going to do, which is good, is we're just going to go and get an image here and give it to Google Gemini. And then we're going to be using that image for under there. And that way we're placing, before we're talking about the product, we're placing the product image inside just to plant it inside their head. Like, what is this? Now, the next prompt we're going to do is the product reveal. So we're going to come over here and we're going to click on Claude and put in the product reveal. So you can see now we have the headline, we have the problem expose, we have the turning point, we have the mechanism, and then we're going to talk about the product reveal. Beautiful. And basically what it's saying is, like, this is where Kong comes in. Kong is the product. And if you've ever owned a dog, you probably recognize the name. Back in the 1970s, a Colorado dog owner named blah, 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 blah. No batteries, no complicated parts, no training required, just active foraging built into every meal. And then it gives you a breakdown. And here, this digestible content in our advertorial template, we would be using something like this to break it down. That's why it's important to have a good template, because you don't want to be just showing all text. You want to be showing different things. So let's see what we have with Google Gemini. Perfect. That looks absolutely amazing. It actually shows the dog doing something, like it's actively trying to open something. And we made the photo on purpose more grainier, like a customer took the photo. So after the product reveal, we then want to show a nice high quality image of the Kong. So what we typically do is, unfortunately, Kong has just really bad images on the website. So we'll have to use AI to create an image, but you know what, we could use this one. Okay, after the product reveal, we're then going to jump in. We're going to skip the social proof, because you guys, if you're using Shopify, you can plug in Judge Me or Luke's, but the social proof is very, very important. If you use our template, it's already there inside. We've built this to be fully customizable. So you could change like this to like 94 and the bar moves, or you could put to like 25. So we give you the ability to create that social proof. It looks absolutely realistic, and it's built in, and it's mobile first, it's desktop friendly. So that's the social proof that we use. Now the next thing we want to do is talk about the comparison. So we're going to put this in here, and we're going to put the comparison right here. And what it's going to do is it's going to compare Kong to other brands, or Kong to the traditional way of feeding your dog, which would be through the bowl. Beautiful. Now I'm going to copy and paste this. Now this section is meant to be a compare chart. So the way it's formatted is that it's meant to be a compare chart. So if you see it here, you see the description, you see the R brand, and the way we do it is we've built our what's it called? Our advertorial here, that if you want to change anything in the compare block, you just add commas. So like I'll say like dog fact, comma, choose, comma. So whenever you put a comma, it creates a new line. So we've designed it in a way for you to copy and paste it in. But here, we're talking about the headline. Kong wobbler versus traditional bull and slow feeders. Why movement changes everything. And then we have the description. Most dog owners try a slow feeder bull first. If you guys don't know what a slow feeder bowl is, for dogs, there's these like little things. They're usually like silicone, and this is called a slow feeder. And because Kong has a different functionality and mechanism, not only do they want to compare themselves against traditional bulls, but also these slow feeders that are really exploding with popularity. So next we're showing our brand, which is mealtime extends to 15 to 20 minutes instead of, which is amazing. I probably should buy this, The dog moves around the room. They're active. They're not just getting fat and laying on the carpet or on the couch. Holds a full meal up to 2 cups. Replaces the bowl. Unscrews in seconds and goes straight in the dishwasher. Built by Kong to last years of daily use. If you guys don't know what Kong is, they're actually one of the most well-known dog toys in America. Super, super, super durable. And I have 2 big dogs, and I buy them this Kong toy, and even for them, it lasts them like a couple of months. So it's a really, really high quality, well-known brand. So now that we have the comparison chart, the next thing, which is super important, is the transformation timeline. A lot of people want to know, what can I expect? What are the results? If I buy this, what results can I see with my dog? In the first week, is he going to have less anxiety? In the second week, so this timeline, which we have in our section here, this is what people could expect. Now, the way we got it from Claude is, let's just copy and paste this, is the timeline is simple. Is day 1 is the light bulb moment. Your dog circles the wobbler, confused at first, which I can imagine. He's never seen this type of toy. Then one nudge sends kibble scattering across the floor. So he's starting to understand that when he plays with it and when he interacts with it, food comes out. And as you know, dogs are driven by food. So they're going to try their hardest. It's really going to lean on their mental fortitude for this dog to do everything it can to get this food out. The next week is the pace shift. Now that they understand how to use this, what used to take 12 seconds feeding the dog now takes 12 minutes. So your dog starts to chew instead of pounding it down. Week 3 is the behavior change, and month 1 is the new normal. This is the highlight of your dog's day. You know how much dogs love to be played with. Like with my dogs, they love sticks. So if I'm throwing these sticks, they're running around for hours. So now they have another interactive element. It not only builds the mental stimulation, it reduces the anxiety, it improves their health, and it actually is primitive. This is how dogs used to hunt and forage and scavenge for food before. Now, as we come down here, we have the reasons why. And this is right before the CTA. So we basically want to say, these are the 5 reasons why you should buy this product. Okay? 5 reasons. And on mobile, you could see after the 5 reasons, we have this beautiful box here with a countdown timer. So these are the 5 reasons why you need to buy this product for your dog. So I'm going to let that finish. And again, guys, if you want this template, it's only $50. Buy it. We'll put it up in your store within 1 hour, and you'll be able to edit and customize it. You'll be able to duplicate it. You'll be able to change it to whatever you want. And just to show you how quickly it is to edit things, for example, if I wanted to edit this heading to what the heading we were using, look how cool this is. All I would do is come into here, boom, and then I could even tell you what words I want highlighted. And the highlighted is so important. And it's the same with the description. Copy and paste it in and highlight what you want. Now, let's finish this advertorial. So the 5 reasons why. Let's take this and let's put this towards the bottom. And now the 5 reasons why is your dog can finally eat the way nature intended. A tired dog without the extra walk, which is like, this is speaking dog language. Even though we'd love to spend as much time with their dogs as possible, a lot of owners, after working 9 to 5, it's not that they dread the walk, but it's good to have something for the dog that keeps them active without knowing that you are responsible for the only activity, which is that walk. Next, it takes you 10 seconds and replaces the bowl entirely. Built to survive years of daily use, the price won't stay this low forever. So that's how you build an advertorial very quickly using our advertorial system. This is free to use. If you guys join our school, we'll give you this Notion doc. If you want the template, there's a link below in the description. It's only $50 and we put it into your Shopify store. So it's fully editable and it's fully customizable. But thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for following us. If you have any suggestions on what other videos you want to see next, let us know and have a great day.